Okay, so I think this is recording. So what I'm going to explain to you very quickly is how regression towards the mean works. So as you can see here, we have our regression line, our mean. This is like our population mean, let's say. And here we have our experiment line. This is some sample mean that we have. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how regression towards the mean works. So the first thing is the lower the correlation, the more the values will regress to the mean. That means the lower the correlation with this line, right? Because if these green dots are another sample and they were perfectly correlated with the experiment line, we would expect it to draw the same line, right? But if there's less and less correlation with this line, then it's going to have nothing to do with this, and we're going to expect that it's going to start moving towards our mean, right? So we're going to get some sort of, well, that's a little off. We're going to get some sort of, not exactly the mean line, but it's going to be more toward the mean. It's going to regress towards the mean because it's not correlated very strongly or at all with the experiment line, and so we're going to expect it to naturally drift toward the mean. The opposite can be said. If we have a very high correlation, then it's the less the values will regress towards the mean. So again, if this red line didn't exist, we would expect things to group around the mean. But with a very high correlation, and we're talking that it's correlated strongly with this, we would expect it to regress very strongly towards this red line. It wouldn't be perfect necessarily, but it would regress towards it and away from the mean because it's being pulled away from where everything else lies towards this outlier value. So again, lower correlation means that it's not going to have as much to do with this experiment and it's going to hang out more towards our population mean. And the higher correlation, it's going to drift away from our population mean and go more towards our experimental or our sample mean. I hope that helps.